Dear students, I am Dr. Basavaraj Yanaki, Associate Professor of History, Government First Year College, Tandeli. The present presentation is on Robert Clive, his administrative reforms and estimate. This is for BA 5th semester Indian History Paper 1 of Karnataka University, Dharwad. So, in this video, let us see the reforms of Robert Clive. During his second tenure of governorship, he introduced following reforms. They were civil reforms. In that, the transformation of the company into political body had called for administrative reforms in Bengal province. The wars he fought in Bengal province, like Plassey and Buxar, increased their military superiority but demoralized the servants of the company. Bribery, corruption, acceptance of presents, and conspiracy were quite common among the officers. The servants of the company indulged in illegal trade and misuse of dastaks, that is, free trade policy given by the Nawab of Bengal to the company. So Clive asked the servants to sign for a covenant prohibiting acceptance of presents. So he banned the servants from indulging in private trade. To compensate the servants of the company for their raw salaries and loss of income from stopping of private trade, he decided to regulate and regularize the control of internal trade. So, a society of trade was formed in August 1765 with a monopoly of trade in salt, betel nut, and tobacco. All these import goods entered into Bengal were purchased by this society and then sold in the selected Indian retailers. The profit of this trade was shared among the officers and servants on their positions. This evil practice increased the prices of the commodities and the life of the people of Bengal became miserable. But, however, the Society of Trade could not work effectively, hence Clive decided to wind it off. The second reform he carried out is in the field of military or military reforms. As early as 1763, the Court of Directors had sent orders for reduction of the double bhatta paid to the military officers in Bengal. But it was continued even for a long time. The original idea was to extend this facility to only those officers and soldiers who usually go outside Bengal province for fighting. But it was enjoyed by all even during the time of peace also. So Clive, soon after his arrival, cancelled this order and gave it to those who engaged in war outside the Bengal and Bihar provinces. This created discontentment among the officers of the army at Monghar and Allahabad, who had resigned for their post and they even tried to murder Clive. At the same time, Clive accepted their resignation and promoted the non-commissioned officers of the Madras to the officers' post. He then arrested those who resigned for their post. This event is known as White Revolution. Let us see the estimate of Robert Clive's period. Thus, by all these reforms, Clive is considered as the true founder of the British Empire in India. By his diplomatic skill, he ousted the French and Nawab's rules from India. The capture of Arcot in 1751 and success in the Battle of Plassey in 1757 against Siraj-ud-Dowla and Second Carnatic War against Dupleix and reduction of Mir Jafar to the position of mere puppet were his great achievements. He converted the East India Company into political power in India. The Society of Trade ruined the trade in India. The dual system ruined Indian agriculture, industry. Thus, the Indian economy was completely collapsed by Robert Clive. Hence, he is considered as a consolidator of the British power in India by the British, not by the Indians. Thank you.